Hello again, everybody. Red of Half Century collecting sports cards, and today I just want to do a update on something near and dear to my heart, and that is playing days cards of Negro Leaguers who have made it to the Hall of Fame. I last did one of these videos about a year ago and got a few additions since then, so let's flip the camera around and show some cards. So here are all the players who once played in the Negro Leagues that are currently in the Hall of Fame. And I'm going to just go quickly one by one through them. The first to get in 1962 was Jackie Robinson. He just had 1 year in the Negro League. That's one of his Bond Bread cards. We've got the second one to get in 1969 was Roy Campanella. And he had a pretty mixed career. Most of it in the major leagues, part of it in the good part of it in the Negro Leagues. Then the first player to get in, mainly based on his Negro League career, was Satchel Paige in 1971. And at that time, they put up a special vote. There were some people like Ted Williams and Bob Feller that were really pushing to get Negro Leaguers in, but they didn't want to put him in with the rest of the Hall of Famers, so they were going to make a special wing, and that's what Satchel Paige got inducted into, as the Negro League special wing. But within a year, they changed their tune, and there was enough, I think, people saying, like Ted Williams, that they need to be with the rest of the Hall of Famers. And so they ditched that Negro League only wing, and Satchel got in with the rest. 1 year later, two big time hitters, two of the best hitters ever in the Negro Leagues, Josh Gibson and Buck Leonard, got in. Now, Josh Gibson, I don't have a playing days card because really the only thing that exists is a postcard. And I hear there's only one of them, but there is that card that's really close, that Teleteros, which is about 4 years after his playing career and after he died, which I would love to have someday. Buck Leonard doesn't, I think this is the only one that I know of that exists from his playing days. This one is from a Cuban cigar company, and it came as a booklet. This Trinidad this is basically brothers card. It's got a pretty nice back there. Buck Leonard, there were, from what I saw, I think there's only about 4 of these known graded. There was a actual booklet, or a series of the 4 booklets that exist that were sold in about 2017 on Heritage in an auction, and they were as the booklets, and you can see staple marks, how they were stapled into that booklet. And I think that's how it got graded authentic, is because it was taken apart of the booklet, which I think if I was a grader, I think I would still give it a regular grade, because like strip cards were made to be cut apart, so why wouldn't a booklet be made to be pulled apart for each player? And I mean, otherwise, I think that's a really nice presenting Buck Leonard card. Really good, clear printing on the back. I won't keep going on here. We got the next to get in was Monty Irvin, 1973. He was another kind of about half Negro League, half Major League guys. We got in on both accounts. Next guy to get in that I do not believe exists, a player or a playing days card, and that's Cool Papa Bell, one of my favorite Negro Leaguers. I read a book on him. I think one of the greatest center fielders and leadoff hitters of all time. That is a card from 1976. So one of the earliest cards that was made of him. A Great Plains card. Next, a guy who I do not know of anything that exists from playing days is Judy Johnson, good third baseman who got elected in 75. And then one of the best Negro Leaguers of all time, Oscar Charleston, one of the greatest players of all time, who I do not have a playing days card. There are some that exist. There was one in this last year that sold for over $250,000. And it was not sure which card it was. I think it was this Tomas Gutierrez card from 2023-24. I've seen a Beakin card he's got, Aguilitas. Cigar Company card. So a few from the 20s, but very low pop counts on all of them. And we go up, the next guy to get in, and this one was another one that just played 1 year in the Negro Leagues. And then the rest of his career went to the majors. So it's 1977 was Ernie Banks. And then in the same year, a couple of guys, Pop Lloyd, that's his Beacon card from the 20s, a Cuban Cigar Company card. I'll show you the back of that one. And Martin Dihigo, so greatest shortstop in Dihigo, multi-position player and pitcher. This is a Carmelo Deportivo card, Cuban card. And so those guys all got in 77. Next player to get in, another one who just a very slight Negro League career, and then big time, of course, Major League career, Willie Mays. He got in 79, and then in 82, kind of the same story, Hank Aaron, that's his home run derby card. Next guy to get in was 87, so 5 years later, one of the better third basemen in the Negro League. This is Carmelo Deportivo card from 45-46, and that's Ray Dandridge. Then we got one of the better pitchers to play in the Negro Leagues, and it's a Puerto Rican card, Denia Leon Day. He got in 95, so it took 8 years for that one. And then we go to 97. 2 players, Willie Foster, and then one of the better shortstops, Willie Wells, got in. And then we go up here, 98. We've got Larry Doby, seen on his exhibit card. Bullet Rogan, Smokey Joe Williams, Turkey Stearns, 3 of the better players, but they do not have any known playing day cards. And I forgot to say that that went for Willie Wells. Willie Foster does have, I think, another one of those that there's only one known that exists back from the 20s. And then, let's see, we are Hilton Smith is where we're at. Now, Hilton got in 2001, and that's a Toloteros card of Hilton. And then we got another Carmelo Deportivo card, and that is of Ray Brown. Brown got in. He was part of that. He was first guy now for the Lord of that big 2006 class when Buck O'Neill and a bunch of people on the Veterans Committee got together and decided who was going to get in. And Ray Brown got in. Willard Brown got in. He had a little taste in 47 in the majors, but otherwise just really big Negro League career. Andy Cooper got in. I do not have a playing day card of Andy Cooper, but there is a few that exist in the 20s. He's got a Tomas Gutierrez, a Beacon, and a Nacionales card, and I haven't seen one for sale for a long time, but I have seen them for sale in auctions in the past. Then also in 2006, we got Frank Grant, who does not have a playing days card. We've got Pete Hill. I saw a few years ago a 1910 Punch Cigarros card of him available. We got a Biz Mackey, who I do not have a card of. He has an Agualitas card from the 20s. Then this is one I've gotten in the last year, and this is a Jose Mendez Nacionales Cigarros card, Cuban Cigar Company. And I think that's just a gorgeous card. It's a common picture scene of Jose Mendez. So a pretty cool card. Then we've got a few more who do not have any known playing days cards. Luis Santope, Mule Suttles, Ben Taylor. And we're still in that 2006 class. Cristobal Torriente, a Cuban player, as was Jose Mendez, seen on a Cuban card. This is the 24-25 Agualitos. Nice stoic picture think a pretty cool looking back. Another one without a known playing days card, Judd Wilson. And then that's the end of the 2006 inductees. And then so we went from 2006, the next ones didn't get in until 2022. And that's Minnie Minoso, whose career was probably more in the major leagues than it was in the Negro Leagues. But that's his 52 tops. Would love to have one of his Camaro Deportivo cards. He also has one. This is Buck O'Neill next, who also got it in 2022. And this is his 46-47 Almanac card. I think that's a pretty cool looking card. Minoso is in that set, as well as is Martin Dehigo is in that set. So cards that you don't see a whole lot of. So that's it for the guys in. Here's I'm just going to give a list of 4. I think there's more than that should be getting in, I think. John Donaldson, who came real close on the last ballot. Dick Lundy, one of the best shortstops in the Negro Leagues. I'd like to see him in. Vic Harris was on the last ballot. Managed a bunch of teams that won Negro League World Series. He has some Tolateros cards. And then Luis Tiant Sr. would be the other guy. I think was a really good pitcher from Cuba that I think should have a good chance, as should his son, of getting in to the Hall of Fame. And that's a Camaro Deportivo card. You can see how thin those cards are of Mr. Tiant Sr. All right, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. As I said, these are some of my favorites. So lots of books I've read on some of these guys. Been reading about since I was in high school. I remember doing a paper on some things in the Negro Leagues and learning about Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson. I was not a good writer, and in college I finally got an A on a paper in a college writing class when I wrote a paper on the Negro Leagues. Read a book called Only the Ball Was White that I wrote about, but I just had enough passion about it that it just interested me that much, and it still has. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time.